I'm 46 years old, and if you in your 40s, 30s, and 20s, please watch this whole video because the last point I'm going to share with you going to really hit home. The first point I'm going to start out with is time. When you up in your 40s, it seemed like time is moving faster versus you was in your 20s because I'm experiencing that. When I was in my 20s, I thought I had all the time in the world. Actually, when I was in my teens, I wanted to be 19 so quick so I could move out and do my own thing. I was pushing time. But now I'm in my 40s, I'm said to myself, I wish I can go back in time. Now, I'm going to talk to you first about how my parents brainwashed me into thinking these pointers, and watch is going to really touch home because some of y'all are witnesses now. If you're in your 40s, 46, 45, 40, you notice this. My parents, just like your parents, was taught you to go to school, go to college, go to school, which is college, get a career, retire, and die. They didn't use that last point, but I'm using that last point. Because I noticed that people that are in their 60s and 70s taught me this. Because I like to talk to older people. I got that old soul. Some of y'all got that old soul in you. If you do, comment in the comment section if you have that old spirit that you can listen to older generations and you can relate to them because you're feeling what they feeling. This 70-year-old told me that, and this is when I was 40. I'm 46 now. And he said, young buck, you know what? If I were your age and I can go back, you know what I'll do? And I said, what? He said, I would have left my career, or I would have left my job a long time ago. And I would have did something that I liked and got paid for. And I said, well, Mr. Jones, what was that? He said, I was good at woodwork. And I could build anything. I could build a dollhouse. I could build a dog house. I could build a mini shed or a mini house. I had that knowledge because I worked for a wood manufacturer for a long time and we made paper. And it's down, he said he was down in Arkansas at a wood company that made paper and wood and paper products. And he said, I already had that experience and stuff in my head. And I said I can do it, but I didn't. I just stayed in the wood industry. And he said, I worked at this company for 35 years. And when I retired from that company, he said my 401k didn't kick in until I was like 15 years old or in my year 15. So I only had 15 years to save up my 401k. Because what? Number two. This is the number two I'm getting in. Health. He said my health was declining. I was missing my production points. I just said, it's time for me to retire because I'm messing up production. And I was messing up for the younger generation, but I had seniority. That's it. I wasn't able to jump on a career ladder. I tried. Just like me. At my age of 46, I tried to apply for so many jobs in my job. And they always tell you this. If you stick with this job, you can go up the career ladder. And this is the trap. The corporate bosses and my supervisor said, yeah, I started out less than you. I started out pushing, cleaning the warehouse. Now look at me now. And I'm thinking in my head, and this is what you 30-year-olds and your 20-year-olds need to realize. I was thinking like, man, he's is a puppet. The reason why he's a puppet is because that the corporate said, hey, we're going to let somebody work their way up to the career ladder, and we're going to use him as a puppet to promote staying at this company for more than 20 and 30 years. We're going to use that as a puppet to manipulate people that if they stay here 20 and 30 years or even less than that, you can come up the career ladder as much as him. Not knowing that he was only making $70,000 a year. But to him, he was happy. He went up the career ladder in 10 years, he told me. And I said, and I'm thinking in my head like, dude, he's a puppet. It's not very many like that. And I was like, and I asked him, I said, so boss, who else was up there? He said, me and a couple other people. And he said, some people stayed in a position that they wanted because they liked it and they retired in that position. And get this, over 2,000 employees, he said, me and a couple others. The rest stayed in their position and retired. And then he said some of them didn't want to do it no more and quit. And he said, but I'm telling you, if you stick with it, you're going to be up there. And I'm thinking like, okay, whatever. He is just he's a sales pitch. He's getting me to stay because he wants me to stay because I'm really good at my craft. So I know I'm jumping back and forth here, but back to that 7-year-old. That 7-year-old said, hey, young brother, he said, what you need to do is you need to do what you love. And I was like, what you love to do? I said, well, I always wanted to service my community. And he said, okay, what you good at? I'm good at my hands. I'm good at making a property look good. And he said, so property management, right? Landscaping or some kind of remodeling, right? And I said, yeah. And so I started off with landscaping. I got out there and pushed them more, but I was smart with it because I had the wisdom. I'm 40. I started doing it when I was 44. I left my career job when I was 45, 46. I was 42. I'm sorry. I was 42. I had to count back the time. I was 42 when I left. And they told me when I was getting ready to leave, I was like, I'm leaving. They all, you be back. You be back. This is the only best job here in this small or this community, this town, this city. This is the best job. They always come back. So that, man, I'm telling you, your coworkers is not your friends. I'm telling you, your coworkers is not your friends. Don't add them on Facebook because I learned that the hard way. I don't put my personal stuff. You know what I did, and this is the honest truth. I'm being real. Don't judge me. All the people that was in my group at my job, I blocked all of them on Facebook. I looked up their names and I blocked. Because what happened was when I started working there and new people came in, they tried to look me up and tried to add me on Facebook. I don't want my personal information out there to them because they're not my friends. Your coworkers I had one coworker that was my buddy, and he was actually my friend because he believed in God. And he was a child of God and Christian just like me. We prayed with each other, but that's it. Everybody else, they're not my friends. They wasn't my friends. They wanted the same thing I wanted. They wanted to go up the career ladder. They want to make some money. They want to be the next supervisor. They want to have their own company truck. They want to have their own company phone, laptop. They wanted all of that, just like I did. And they were out to get me. So I'm just saying from experience, they're not your friends. Your coworkers is not your friends. So watch them. Don't add them on Facebook. Don't add them on Instagram or TikTok. Don't add them. Block them. Because they don't need to know your personal. Because if they find something personal about you, they're going to come after you. And they're going to try to throw you under the bus because they know your life. They know your personal information. So back to what I was saying. So the 70-year-old, he told me, right now this is me at 41. Excuse me. He said, right now is the time. You're 40. It's the time. It's the time to get back your time. You're still healthy. Your health is at this right now. Us in our 40s, some of us, our health is at our peak now, right? So he said, you're still healthy. I'm at the gym now. I just left the gym. He said, you're still healthy. You got time, brother. And he said, right now, do what you want to do. Take a risk. Start your own business. Start a YouTube channel. He didn't say start a YouTube channel, but he said, start what you need to do. You need to take back your time now. Because when you hit 70, my age, you will have time, but you won't have health. And when he said those pointers right there, it just resonated with me, guys. It just spoke with me when he said that. He said you will have time, but your health will be declining. So I understood that, okay? So these are the pointers. You got time, health, and money, okay? So back to what I was saying. I said, thank you for giving me this now. He said, no problem. And he walked off, said, the time is now. And he walked off. He kind of said it in a scarcity type way, but God was using him. And I had to listen. Sometimes you have to listen when somebody is giving you valuable information. And so I said, okay, I'm 42. I've been on my job for 12 years, CDL, concrete driver, working weird hours. It was messing up my health because I didn't have time to eat the right foods because I'm always on a truck. Go. I'm always eating at truck stop food, nasty pizza, nasty corn dogs that's on this rotating machine and hot dogs and stuff. None of that ain't good for you. They just put it out there because they know that you will eat it and they know that it's fast and it's hot and ready. But they don't care about your health. So when I was doing that as a truck driver, I said, I got to change. I had to change my mindset. After I changed my mindset, then I had to change my wife's mindset. Now, that's hard to do. I mean, your wife, she got to love you so much to where you could change her mindset into doing something crazy. It's called crazy faith. The pastor at Transformation Church in Tulsa, he called it crazy. He came out with a book called Crazy Faith. I read it. It's crazy faith. And his name is Mike Todd at Transformation Church. If y'all don't know him, look him up. Look that book up, Crazy Faith. But back to what I was saying is that I said, man, I got the mindset to leave my job and do what I want to do, which was landscaping. And then I was like, but I asked myself, you got to ask yourself, when landscaping is not, when it's in the wintertime and grass is not growing, shrubs is not growing, nothing's growing, what do you do? So I said, well, if I could use my spare time, I can invest in YouTube and make some little extra money. But I want to turn my YouTube into like a little ministry or a donation to where when I make enough money in my donation, when people donate to me, I could give back to the people who's less fortunate. That's my goal, like a donation. And that's my goal, to get monetized too, is so I can help others and then make a little extra spare money for myself. But I want to definitely help others. That's my main goal, is to help you guys that are struggling on here, that are in their 40s and 30s and want to make extra money. I want to be able to bless your Cash App or your Venmo and just send you money. That's what I want to be able to do, and that's my goal. My goal is the mission to help others. So back to my point. Okay, so I'm getting ready to leave my 9 to 5, okay? Actually, it wasn't 9 to 5. It was around the clock job. It's rigged. It's all rigged. I noticed that the jobs are rigged because they take away your time and they take away your health and they don't give you the money. So it's all these 3 pointers. Number one, you want to take back your time. You're in your 40s, 30s, 20s. You want to take back. In your 20s, you have time and you have health. The only difference is you don't have money because they want to put you in a rigged system to where you chasing the money, using your health to chase the money because you're in good shape, you're in the oil field, or you're a truck driver, or you're a contractor, or you're a construction hand doing concrete, building houses, building buildings, or you're a CDL driver, you're young, you're trying to make this money. That's all your mindset is about, to make this money. But in your 20s, do learn a trade, a blue collar trade, and do it. If you already in that trade, you already know how to build houses, start doing it on your own. If you already know how to be a CDL driver, start your trucking company. If you are whatever, the women too. If you know how to do hair, start doing hair part-time. Or if you're a social media coach, start putting that on YouTube. Share your experience with the women. Or if you got some valuable, if you're good at cooking, baking pies, put that on YouTube. Say, guys, this is my journey on baking pies. Have your phone, don't edit nothing. Just post your stuff. Or if you're shy on YouTube, turn your camera around and post it towards what you want to do. Turn the camera around and say, hey, look, I'm baking this pie. I'm going to put this camera on a pedestal or something to hold my camera, or whatever holds your camera, and start doing it. Talk while you filming yourself, okay? And this is for men and women in their 40s, 20s, and 30s. Now, if you're in your 20s, jump on, learn a trade quick. Give your time a time frame. Say, I'm going to learn this trade in 1 year and I'm going to start doing it on my own. That was my mistake in my 20s and 30s. I was learning a job, but the job that I couldn't learn a job. I'm sorry, because I was in a production. You had to move in different positions to learn production. I did a job for 12 years, and then I did CDL, trucking and concrete, for 12 more years. So that's 24 years of my life gone, that I could have did something better, that I could have did something that made valuable, that my kids can do now, and I can enjoy the freedom. You know what? I'm 47. I'm 46 years old. I'm sorry, I'm be 47 next year, but I'm 46 years old, and I didn't go out of my state until I was 38, when I finally went out of my state. I finally went out of my state, and when I went on vacation at my job, my 9 to 5, they said, you got 2 weeks. You got to get back here in 2 weeks. And then it's the bad part. I want to get into the meat of this. This is the bad part. This is what I hate. You had to schedule your time off. You had to and then this is what happened. They told me, we got to look on the schedule, see if nobody else didn't take your spot. When I was a CDL driver in concrete, they said, oh, sorry, man. Can you do, not the 4th of July, but can you do the 8th of July? Because we already got 2 people off. You know what? I was so pissed when they said that. I wanted to just leave the job right there. I was so pissed. I was like, man, I already got plane tickets and everything. Well, that's not an excuse, but I said, well, I had this plan for months. They said, well, if you can give us 6 months in advance that you're going to take off on this day, we can put you in line to beat out. And my supervisor said, hey, man, if I'll do 6 months in advance so you could beat out whoever put in on that vacation, because we need drivers. We got to have this production going. We got to keep production going. So that was another flaw, that they screwed me on my vacation. I had to take the vacation time when I was allowed to. So I was even more ticked off. I was like, man, and that's when I knew the jobs was rigged. I knew it. And now my supervisor said, you could trade with Mark. Ask him if he want to trade with you. I was like, what? Why would I want to trade my personal time for somebody else's personal time? I don't want to do that. That's what they tried to pull on me. They tried to say, you could trade. Go ask Mark, see if he'll trade with you. If you do, we'll allow that. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't want to go to somebody and trade their personal time for my personal time. No, I'm not doing that. And Mark came in there 5 minutes later. Hey, my vacation time's still on, boss? Yeah, your vacation. I ain't trading for nobody. If y'all think about trading, you could just go the other way. That's why I knew I didn't want that. That's why I knew I needed another better gig. That's when I knew that was the end for me on this job. Sorry, I'm changing arms. My arms is getting tired holding up this phone. I need to get a tripod in my truck. But so back to what I was saying, right? Now that since I was in that point of my life, and if you're in your 30s, do not fall into this trap. If your boss said, hey, you can go up the career ladder, don't listen to him. If your workers trying to be your friends and follow you on social media, don't follow them, block them. They're going to try to throw you on the bus because they out what you out to get too, and that's to make money and grow in your career. Start what you want to do first. Start liking, set yourself up now. The 401k, rigged. The health insurance, rigged. And I'm getting into the meat of this. It's all rigged. Because have you noticed? And I don't know if your job did it, but mine did it. I was on it for 12 years. And I was at my other job for another 12 years in production. Right in one spot, doing assembly line, moving these parts. For 12 years, standing in that same spot. I was bad health. And so, it's rigged. So what they did was they give you a raise every year, a 50-cent raise or whatever. And you know what else they raise up? They raise up your health insurance. I noticed that. And I knew that it was a scam because every year our health insurance went up. So if I made 50-cent raise, everybody happy. Hey, man, did you get your raise? Yeah, I got my raise. Man, dude, that 50 cent can help out my family, man. I'm glad, dude. I need it. I got bills. That makes me sad when I see coworkers say that to me. I got bills. I can pay off this. I got 50 cents or $1. I got $1 raise. That's going to help me out a lot. And next thing you know, the company meeting. We have an insurance benefits meeting. Y'all know it happens every year. And then they show us in the benefits meeting that your insurance had went up another $100. So if you're getting an extra $1 raise, it takes away from that $100 a month from that $1 raise. Because if you add it up at 80 hours in 1 month, that's $80. I mean, in 2 weeks, so that's $160 in 1 month. So that's $160. So you, technically speaking, only getting $60. Some of them ain't even getting that. So it's all rigged. And so I was like, man, dude, they gave us a 50-cent raise and they raised up our health. Man, I don't even want health. And then this is what they tried to do when I was leaving my job, getting ready to leave. They said, what are you going to do? I said, well, God got a plan for me. And then I straight up told them, I didn't even give them my 2 weeks. I gave them 1 week notice. And I told them, I said, hey, my job is getting ready to kick in. Can I take off a few days, or can I do vacation? They said, well, you could take off I had like a week of vacation left, right? And so what I did was, they said, you don't even have to do your 2 weeks. Just go ahead and take off. So they tried to trick me. They tried to say, hey, if you take off, you won't take your vacation. So you know what I did? I put in my vacation that whole week that they gave me, that 1 week that I could take off and go to my next career, which was landscaping. So I did my whole vacation that 1 week. After my vacation was over with, I went in, shook their hands, turned in my hard hat and my vest. I was done. Say, guys, see y'all later. I even brought them some donuts and cookies and pizza. I didn't pay for their lunch that day when I left on my last day. You didn't have to do this. I was like, man, yes, I did, because I'm celebrating. They didn't celebrate my leaving, so I celebrated my own leaving. And so now back to what I was saying is, after I did that, now I'm doing YouTube videos. I'm putting affiliate links in my YouTube, and that's another income that I'm making. Last month, on my affiliate links alone in my YouTube donation and stuff, I made $5,000, to where my YouTube links, my affiliate links, made in 3,000, and my other 2 donations made in 2,000. And I went out there and gave it to this lady out in the parking lot. I said, hey, here go 2,000. What? You don't have to do that. Glory to God. So I just gave it out. I'm going to start doing testimonies on that as well. So I just gave it out. That's my goal. My goal is to be happy. I have the power. I have the energy. I was going to say power. The health. I have the health to do it. Sorry I mess up, guys. I'm going to keep rolling. So back to what I was saying. If you're in your 30s, it's time for you to set up 401k. It's a scam. So what I did with my 401k is, I went ahead and because they let you invest in a certain percent in your 401k. They let you put in 10% every year. And then I'll have this graph to where it'll show you like, hey, after you turn 75, you'll have $1.2 million. Joke. What if I don't live to be 75? That's a joke. So I said this, I said, okay. So I put in more in my 401k, and then I borrowed from my 401k, and I opened me up some low-end stocks. This is not a financial thing. I said, what's booming? So I put my stuff in. I saw this guy on TikTok, put your stuff in V stocks. Put your stuff in a high yield savings account like Sophie. So I did a high yield savings account, and I put my stuff in some V stocks that's going to always keep accumulating every month. So I put in money every month, kept putting in. And so I built up my 401k again. I did a business. I borrowed from it, and I was just, I was improvising. And I borrowed from my 401k, and I started this business, which was a failure. It took my family time away. It was taking a lot of time. It was working. I made quick money when I was doing shirts, t-shirts, printing, but I failed it. And I was like, man, that's another failure. And I'm still at my job, and people looking at me. Hey, I saw you on TikTok. Your business is it doing good? No, it's not. I got to come up with another business. So I took a risk and failed that risk. So now I know not to do that again. So I said, what I got to do? So I built up my 401k again. And then I said, I'm leaving my job and I'm going to just do landscaping. So I had enough money before I left. We paid off both of our vehicles. I paid off my house. I paid up everything. I paid off everything. And I said, okay, I'm debt free. So now I can leave. And so I had about 20 grand on me, and I left and I started a landscaping business, and I was smart about it. I said, I'm gonna hire my first employee because I'm old. I'm 46. This is 45. I'm 46 now. This is at the time of 44, actually 44. I said, I'm 44. I need to start hiring people and just give them a lot of money to take my spot. And so I started hiring people to take my spot in landscaping and lawn care. And so now they taking over, and I'm paying them good because I'm making a little percent and I'm still happy. So now that's growing, but I still have a slow spot. I have about 2 months of slow. It's seasonal, so I have a slow spot. So I decided to invest in YouTube, put more of my time in YouTube. So that's what I do, and I'm happy. I can go home happy. I can go in my house. I can take my work home because I'm happy. Man, and you got people on your job, they take their work home. When you get in that driveway, you're supposed to let that work stay in that driveway. And some people take it into the house and take it out on their loved ones, on their wife, their spouse, girlfriend, or whoever, kids, grandparents, whoever you living with. You take it out on them because you show the frustration, especially when you took a promotion or you asked for especially when you apply for a higher position and you don't get it, and you've been there for 10 years and you apply for so many positions and every one of them denied you. And this is the secret. Before I let you get off this YouTube, I'm gonna share this secret. I noticed this. When you get so good at a position at your job and you're the best at your craft, they don't want you to get a higher position. They don't want you to promote you. And my boss actually told me this secret. He said, hey, man, I'm going to tell you a secret. He said, Johnny, man, we was going to promote him, but we didn't promote him because he's so good at that spot. He's so good at that spot to where if we leave him and he trains somebody, it's going to mess up that spot. And that's our bread and butter. That spot, what Johnny's doing, that's our bread and butter. So we didn't promote him. So that's what they told me. So that's the reason why they didn't promote me, because I was so good at that one position that if I leave, somebody else going to come into that position and mess it up. And they production going downhill because I'm at a higher spot. I was so good at it that they didn't want me to leave. So they wanted me to stay there. And that's one tip where they try to get you to stay in that same predicament, stay in that same position. Comment in the comment section what you do for a living, guys, and do this video resonate with y'all, and tell me what's going on in your life at the age of 40 in your 30s. Are you listening to this? Are you soaking this in? I hope so. And then I'm going to do another part tomorrow of I'm gonna do my last job that I did, the one that was a CDL driver. I know I did it, but I'm gonna get more deep in the details, and I'm also gonna tell you what I'm happy what I'm doing now, what I was able to do after I left my 9 to 5. So please subscribe, and God bless.